Welcome, everybody. Hmm. Welcome on this rainy day. Hope you're inside and cozy. So let's start with a little bit of movement. Let's stand up if you can, and if not, you can do it seated. That's fine. All right, so we're just going to start with a little bit of clearing and movement at the same time. So the movement is your legs are about hip width apart, knees bent comfortably, and the hands will rise, if that's comfortable for you, up to overhead, and then the hands move down in front of the body. And if you have shoulder problems or taking the hands completely above head is not comfortable, you can just go as far as it's comfortable and then down. So don't stress your shoulder. Obviously, always listen to your body, always listen to what's best for you today. And essentially, we're going to be breathing in as the arms go up, and then we're going to be breathing out as the arms go down. So you'll go with your own pace of breath. And if you want to add in the ideation or the thought process that can be going on for some people, is that we are essentially in Qigong, we're essentially clearing our energy fields. So you don't have to believe in this. You can just do the breath, or you can imagine that when you're breathing in, you're collecting clear, pure light energy, goodness, kindness, love. You're collecting that from the universe. And then as your hands move down and you're breathing out, you're breathing in all of that wonderful, loving energy into your system. It's moving through your body, and you're clearing any energy that's not your own, and then you're shaking it out. So let's start that together. We'll do it 3 times, and then we'll do a couple of movements after that. And again, this comes from Qigong practices. So bend your knees, be solid, maybe do a few shoulder rolls, little twist, whatever your body feels like it needs right now. And whenever you're ready, and again, go with your own pace of breath. You don't need to go with me, but beginning to breathe in, collecting pure light energy, kindness, love. Breathing out, moving that through your system, collecting any stagnant energy, any energy that's not yours, clearing it from your field and moving it into the ground, all the way down into the ground, and then shaking it out. And again, breathing in. And then after 3 breaths like that, imagining a light bubble around you. Maybe it's a color. And imagining that your hands move out to a place where you're imagining this, encircling this safety, this bubble all around your being, all around your body, just contained in light, contained in helpful, kind energy. Breathing that in, imagining it around you, imagining that it stays with you throughout the day, protecting you and nurturing you, all the cells in your body. And then placing one hand just below the belly button, the other hand over top of it in your dantian, your power center, bending the knees and really feeling a sense of groundedness and stability and power in your body. And if you don't feel that today, then imagining what that would feel like. Imagining groundedness, imagining centeredness. With the hands on that place in your body, really tuning into that place just below the belly button. Breathing into it. Moving into full yogic breath, where you're basically breathing into your belly. So with your hands here, as you breathe in, the hands move outward away from you. You can see it from the side. As I breathe out, hands move towards the navel. So we're using our diaphragm to move the air down into the belly. Belly moves out. I mean, the air doesn't literally go into the belly, it's in the lungs, but the diaphragm pushes down and the belly pushes out. And then the lungs fill. So let's do several breaths like this, where we either sitting or standing, where we are first filling up the belly, almost like a vase. It's like if your torso is a vase and the bottom is right about here is the bottom of the vase. You know, if you pour water in, we're going to pour breath into the body, and the breath or water of the vase would go right down to the bottom first. So we're filling the belly, and then we're filling the mid chest, and then we fill the upper lungs last. So most of the breath is going to go here, and then some here, and then some at the top. And we're going to do 5 breaths like this. You can close your eyes and really tune into that sense of slowly filling up and then slowly breathing out. Let's begin at your own pace, 5 breaths. Good. Taking a moment to just shake your body out, move your body however it wants to move. Maybe shake a little bit, and maybe even massage the face a little bit. We hold so much tension in the jaw and in the face. Really taking a moment to just give yourself some caring touch. Whatever in your body feels like it's tight, maybe it's contracted. Maybe you open your arms up to expand the chest. This positioning, with especially when we're standing, but even sitting with our arms big and wide, it signals the body that it's safe. It signals the body that we're open, heart is open. Whereas in contrast, most of us, if we're working at a desk especially, our shoulders are hunched forward. We're in this kind of a position, and we're a lot of clenching, a lot of constriction. And so intentionally cueing the body, maybe even going into a little tiny back bend if that's good for your body with the head back, if that's not good for your body. And then again, just listening to the body. How does it want to move? What feels tight? What feels constricted? And I'm sitting, but you can still be standing if that's what feels good in your body right now. Do you need some neck rolls? Do you need some more loving touch to your jaw, to your face? Preparing the body for meditation. Just coming into the body to help us land here in this moment. The body can really, if we just work with the mind, it's so hard. So hard for me anyway. I end up just feeling like I'm banging my head against the wall when I don't prepare for meditation in any way. When I just sit down on my cushion, it feels very, very hard to me. Some of you maybe not. All right. So coming into the position that you're going to be either sitting or lying down in, or standing. You can stand and meditate as well. And that's a great position if you're feeling sleepy today. You can always go back and forth. Okay. And we're going to actually start with a little more meditation prep. We're going to do some pranayama, some breathing exercises that can help you feel more centered, help you feel more grounded and more present. And we're going to do alternate nostril breathing today. Okay. Nadi Shodhana is the yogic term for it. And so you're going to take your hand and you're going to make this kind of signal. So the first finger and the middle finger are down, and the pinky and the ring finger are up, and the thumb is up. And the movement of the hand is going to be to block one nostril, breathe in through the left, and then you're going to block the left and breathe out through the right. Then you're going to breathe in through the right, block the right, out through the left. This can be tricky if you have one nostril that's like really plugged. And, sometimes that is the case, especially with colds and whatnot. And so if this is tricky for you today and you have one nostril or both that are completely plugged, I would say just let it go and keep doing the deep belly breathing, where you're breathing first into the belly and then the breath moves up, just like we did just recently. So Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, super hard if you have like blocked nostrils, although it's really common throughout the day that one nostril will be a little more hard to breathe through than the other one. So if that's the case and you can still get air in and out, I would still encourage you to do it. Okay. So you're trying not to raise your shoulder up because that's going to hurt your shoulder. If you're somebody who has shoulder stuff, feel free to take a pillow and rest your arm on the pillow so it doesn't get tired. Whatever configuration, get your props around you, get what you need. I'm going to do that myself, actually. Okay. And so first we're going to put thumb to right nostril. So start there and then breathing in through your left nostril. We're going to try to breathe in about the same amount of time as we're breathing out. Okay, we may shift that later in the practice, but for now, about 1-to-1 breathing. So, if you're breathing in for a count of 4 or 5, you're going to breathe out for a count of 4 or 5. But let's get the alternate nostril thing down first, and then you can worry about the counting in a moment. So, especially if you've never done this before. So, right nostril, thumb, closed right nostril, breathe in through the left, close left nostril, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Close right nostril, out through the left. In through the left. Close, out through the right. In through the right. Close, out through the left. In through the left. Close, out through the right. In through the right. Soften your jaw. Close right, out through the left. In through the left. Close left, out through the right. In through the right. Close, out through the left. In through the left. Out through the right. Continue on your own, in through the right. Whenever you reach a point where you're breathing out on the left, then complete the Nadi Shodhana. Try to keep your attention focused inward and allow your hand to drop and just notice what's here. moving back into normal breath. Soften the mouth, soften the jaw. Using the breath as your anchor, coming back to the present moment with the breath, and beginning to notice body sensations. So, allowing your awareness to be broad, encompassing the entire body, allowing body sensations to arise, noticing them, perhaps staying with the body sensation, especially if it's drawing your attention. And the awareness is also on the breath. So you might even imagine if there is an uncomfortable or difficult body sensation, you can imagine yourself using the breath, breathing into that part of your body, almost like you see the breath going to that part of the body and expanding the space around any discomfort or tension. And then on the out breath, inviting a softening. And it's an invitation to the body. It's not a command, because sometimes there are places in the body that are holding and they need to stay held. So we're not going to force, we're trusting in the body's wisdom, and we're allowing the body to be just as it is. And we're just supporting it with the breath. So just allowing your awareness to sort of expand, imagining the awareness expanding outwards to encompass your entire physical body. And then allowing your awareness to move wherever sensation is arising, wherever you're noticing it. And it doesn't necessarily, I don't mean to say that it will always be unpleasant or that we need to focus on the unpleasant. You know, you might notice your awareness, for example, if I were to model this for you right now, just out loud, noticing the pressure of my feet against the floor. Slight tightness in the jaw. Hands touching in the lap. Butt on the cushion. Breath expanding in the belly. So staying for now with the awareness of body sensation. Thoughts might pull, emotions might pull, other senses, but let's just practice for a moment with the body and then coming back to breath now and again. And you can either do what I did just now, where I was naming the sensations, or you can simply feel them and be aware of them. And again, they can be pleasant, neutral, they can be unpleasant. And if we need help with any of them, we can use our breath. You can use your breath and direct it into that place in the body, or you can use a hand or two hands on a part of the body to bring holding or comfort to a body part that might need it. So just inwardly allowing your awareness to move from body sensation to body sensation, either out loud naming them, inwardly naming them, or just noticing in your experience of the body what it feels like. Really trying to bring a sense of welcoming to the body, a sense of like, you are how you are today, body, and I welcome you. I allow you to be as you are. And I'm just going to support you however you are today. And the mind will wander as it does, and no problem. Just bringing it back to somatic sensations, breath in the body, and then expanding your awareness now to all the senses. So, not just the kinesthetic or touch sensations of the physical body, but also sound, sight. And if you have your eyes closed, that could just be brightness or shapes behind the eyelids that you're noticing. Could be smell or taste in the mouth. So again, we're allowing the attention to be broad, and we're focusing right now on body sensations and senses. So you might notice hearing. I'm hearing the cars going by outside in the rain. Noticing saliva in my mouth. And I'm coming back to breath, noticing my hands in my lap. So again, same thing as with the body, but now we're expanding our awareness a little bit more to include all of the five senses and any body sensations, either naming inwardly, outwardly, or just feeling and noticing the sensations and the body. Coming back to breath again and again as sort of a grounding rod, a present moment. But all the senses are in the present moment as well. So we're really fine tuning our awareness to come back into the now again and again through the sensorial body. And if you're struggling to stay present with the body, one little trick is you can just start to sway the upper body from left to right very, very slowly and very subtly. So it's not a big movement. It's like a really tiny movement. And it can give your awareness something to focus on. It can be soothing. Just this really, really gentle swaying. If you're struggling to keep your awareness with the body today. And that subtle movement can even become the object of your focus awareness. So there are some people who have breathing problems, and focusing on the breath can be very distressing for them. And so if you're one of those people and you've struggled with breath focused meditation, try this gentle oscillation. It's very subtle from left to right. Notice if you're clenching or holding anything, and just noticing it first. Bringing awareness, lack of judgment, breathing in, and then with the out breath, intentionally releasing any muscles that don't need to be held in order to keep you upright if you're sitting. So, softening the face and the shoulders, perhaps the pelvis, or the muscles in the upper legs or the glutes are clenched. Just gently bringing awareness to these habits of the body. And we're not forcing, we're just inviting awareness. And we're inviting a releasing with the out breath, letting go, a softening. No forcing, just inviting. And then periodically coming back to the breath, or if this gentle swaying is your focus, then coming back to the gentle swaying. Elongating the spine. So there's this gentle upward movement of the spine, like there's a string attached to the crown of your head. So I notice my body just naturally kind of goes into slouch, and then things start to hurt. But when I gently allow the neck and the spine to elongate, there can be some relief. You're having one of those days where your thoughts, your mind is really persistent and pulling, seeing if you can give up the fight with your mind and see if you can imagine the thoughts as just drifting through. They're there, they're coming, maybe they're coming fast. And then, even if it's just like a tiny moment where you drop into your body and notice, like, oh, feet on the floor. Or if you notice, oh, sound of the rain. So even if the mind is really busy today, seeing if you can be very gentle with yourself, letting the mind do its thing, not needing to fight with it or wrestle or struggle, but seeing if you can just allow the mind to be as it is today. Because we're just gently, when we can, coming back to the body, noticing the body, even if it's only a tiny part of the overall experience today. It's still practicing coming back to the body. And if this is new for you, if you're a person like me who tends to spend a lot of time in their heads and not in their bodies, This may feel very challenging and bizarre, and there's no right or wrong. We're just practicing something that most of us don't do a lot of, which is noticing the body. And today might just be a baby step towards that. So, if it's a baby step for you today, just really congratulating and celebrating yourself for having the courage to come into the body, even for a few little microseconds from time to time. Another way, if you are someone like me who struggles to be or get into the body, especially when there's anxiety or fear, one trick I use is sound, making your own sound, feeling your own sound. So, your own sound has tremendous healing power, and it's literally moving your own vibration through your body. So, for the last minute or so, we're going to just practice feeling sound in the body. And this may be really challenging for some of you. I know when I started toning, all sorts of things came up about like my voice sounds bad. This, I'm scared to open my voice. And so it's not singing, and it doesn't matter how it sounds. So we're not trying to find the right pitch or volume. We're trying to feel your own sound in your own body, your own vibratory quality that moves through when you make sound. And we're going to today do that through the sound of Om, which actually, when broken down into its syllables, is ah, ooh, and you'll notice each of those sounds has a different place in the body that you're going to feel it. If you can't make sound because you're in like a group setting or something like that, then just imagine the sounds as you hear them in your own body. So we're going to start with ah, and then we'll move right into ooh, and then we'll move right into and we're going to do that 3 total times. Okay. So breathing in, and I'd invite you to really close your eyes and go inward. So starting again, sorry. Breathing in. Ah. Feel the vibration in your body. Breathing in. Ah. Ah. Noticing if there's still vibration in the body after you're done toning. Noticing the stillness and that vibration that can continue. May the fruits of our practice today spread outwards in all directions and help to end the suffering of all beings everywhere. Bow to each one of you. Thank you for taking the time to go inward and take care of yourself, and the energy that we've co-created, may it just spread outwards. And it will. Through each one of you, it will spread outwards and affect everyone that you come into contact with, even if it's as simple as smiling at the cashier in the grocery store, or just being in this energy of more stillness and more slowness, more connection to the self. When we connect to ourselves more deeply, it gives us the potential to connect to others much more deeply, because we're in touch with like what's going on in here, you know? So I used to think of meditation as like clearing the mind, blanking the mind. And now I see it more as just getting in touch with what's all the stuff going on in here. And we're complex. We're human beings. We're very complex. There's often a lot of stuff going on in there. And just being aware of it is going to change all your interactions. Many of you who've been meditating, I'm sure, already know that, are already noticing that. And it can really help when there's a lot of reactivity, especially with ones that we're very close with, or we're going through a hard time. Taking like even a few minutes, if you can't meditate for this 45 minutes every day, just even taking like 3 to 5 minutes, a really short time, making it not hard, making it not complicated. And it might even be just 3 breaths. Maybe 1 minute even sounds too hard right now. And I would just encourage you to do 3 breaths, 3 deep belly breaths where you just stop everything that you're doing and just breathe. And the mind might be going and doing its thing, and no problem. But yeah, even just that if you do that daily, it can really start to shift things. Even just 3 breaths, 3 conscious, aware breaths